How's it going?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you very much. I'm busy. I'm fine. I'm doing some physio on my shoulder, so I'm feeling like I'm moving in the right direction. I had surgery a few weeks ago, so just kind of plugging away at like kind of this slow, monotonous. Like I'm not even really cleared to start much resistance. Like a little bit of band work, tiny bit of band work, but other than that, it's just like stretches. And it's
Yeah.
a very humbling experience.
Yeah, it sure is. I'm in the same situation. I'm trying to heal up my arm here close to my elbow. I don't know what's going on. I strained it probably 6 weeks ago, and I've been doing a lot of renos, yard work, and work. Generally anything I'm picking up is aggravating it, so it's not getting any better. So I've got to find some time to just chill. Wife and I are going to Soyuz in maybe another month for a week. So get away and relax.
That's amazing, man.
I got just was starting to get a few more reviews on my book. I had one that came in last night,
Oh yeah.
and it's somebody on the East Coast is using my book. He works with homeless people and addicts,
Wow.
and he's trying to help them get on track with life and everything. So he's using the principles of my book with his program, and he's loaning my book out to a couple special people that really need some help. And he's telling me that it's really helping these young people. They have, just shit upbringing, and they end up on whatever's out there they can be addicted to, hard times, homeless. So it was nice to hear
Man,
that.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. Did he say how he found it?
Yeah, he's someone I knew many, let's say about 45 years ago. My book is floating around in Moncton, New Brunswick.
Right.
So I went back there for a book signing, and so there's probably 25 copies that I'm aware of that are in New Brunswick. So, but anyways, he heard about the book and ordered it, and he's been. When I used to play a lot of sports in my mid-teens, he was my greatest supporter. He came to all my games. He always cheered me on. I was good at what I played and stuff, but I play volleyball for two different teams, every year. Basketball, same thing. Soccer season came. I was playing soccer. Anyways, he followed me around for all these games, and just cheered me on kind of thing. I knew his sister. And then I lost touch with him about 45 years ago. Very good friend. He was originally a friend of my brother, no longer with us. But yeah, we found each other probably a few years ago on Facebook.
Wow.
I've got some old students I haven't seen in 35 years that are starting to reach out, found me on Facebook. So we might be planning an old school reunion of White Dragon Martial Arts Training Academy.
Wow.
So yeah, it was kind of a nice surprise. I get this message on Messenger, and I'm thinking, is this spam? Is this scam? Who's this dude? And then he started talking about our past, the history. And I said, okay, this is legit. Now, who is this guy again? I had to go back and look at my books, figured out who he was. Anyways, he's in touch with a couple of the guys that I certified. I think, what was that year? I'd have been late 90s, I think. So it'd be nice to see them this summer. One be coming from Kamloops, Fort Langley, be a few from Abbotsford. So yeah, that'll be fun.
That's wicked, man. What else you got coming out? Oh, sorry.
Well, I've got this weekend. My wife and I are going to the huge market in Chilliwack.
Nice.
Be doing some book signings there. It's what is it called? It's the Big Red Barns Heritage Park.
Yeah.
They have a huge building. Sometimes it's two buildings, and they have arts and crafts, designs. Jacqueline designed a lot of her own stuff through I mean, she's such an artist. She does pretty much everything. So we've got 2 tables, and we're bringing 2 extra tables for I'm gonna have one for my book, and she's gonna have the rest with her stuff. So, but I picked up this, big frame that goes over my table, and I can hang my poster on the top of it, eh? So that way there, when people come in the building, they can see the book cover from a distance,
That's
you know?
wicked, man.
And even if they don't know who I am, maybe the poster will attract them, because it's an attractive poster. And but yeah, that's what's going on there. And then I'm trying to hook up with another second annual book fair out here in Chilliwack coming up in May. So I'm in touch with them, but they want me to fill out these forms online, bunch of information. Then I hit submit, and it won't submit. I said I did it twice, and I said, why don't I just come visit you and just fill out forms physically, like the old days? So I'm going to arrange that. And then there's another one coming up June 6th in Chilliwack. It's the first annual book fair. It's for all authors. So any authors out there, look into getting a table, perhaps. I don't know if there's any left, but that should be a fun time. And then this summer we've got, the Harrison Festival they have every year.
Yeah, yeah.
2 weekends, Saturday and Sunday, both weekends. I'm gonna have a table there as well, promoting the book.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
When you first started doing these things, like what was there anything about it that really captivated you or really just surprised you even when you started doing these kind of book signings and in-person sales?
Well, I had zero expectations, and frankly, that's probably the best approach, is to have no expectations, and everything has been a surprise. But now I'm so used to the surprising, events that now I'm starting to kind of just flow with it and say, when's the next one kind of thing. It's I need to get on more of these podcasts, you know. I need to get on more podcasts, radio stations, whatever, talk about the book and what it's about, how it can help nearly everybody, unless one is an old dog and their old ways refuse to change. Can't help you. But people with addictions and, always questioning why life sucks, or why do these things continue happening, and why do I keep meeting the same kinds of people, and why can't I hold a job? How come I can't save enough money? There's there's a solution for all those things. People just don't realize the power they possess. It's
Yeah.
all right here, man. Recently, um, I know I'm jabbering off a little bit there. You should throw some in, but I want to share with you some experiences I've been having with this stuff recently. This year has been slow for a lot of contractors, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we've experienced that. I've been running my companies, for quite a few years, but I haven't been paid personally for 6 months because I keep the business operating, I keep my guys paid, suppliers, etc. And I feel that crunch, but I'm not worried about it because I know they're already kicking in now, and I'll tell you why. Uh, I was starting to feel that depression kind of leaning into me a bit, and then I recognized it and said, "You know what? This ain't happening. I'm not going to allow you to creep through my mind, start flowing through my bones and my blood." I said, "You got to do something." And I spent a lot of time studying, researching. And every once in a while, I do so much of it, spend so many hours doing that, I forget about me and my mind. Um, so what I do is I just hit the meditation, sit on my couch, block my eyes with shades, and I start activating the process. And that's connecting with the God within and the universe. We are all one. Buddy can do this. This is how I used to accomplish things. I'd see something that people thought was impossible or near impossible. I'd see them doing. I'd say, damn, if he can do it, I can do it. And I would do it, you know? So with this process and the way I shifted my thinking, it kills the depression right away because now you've got purpose with this vision that you have. What do you want, really? What is it you really want? Envision that as if you're already there. You know, it's already in your life. You're possessing it and get that feeling going through you. My wife can cry on a dime. Me, I got to work at it, really work at it. So I didn't do much of this, Mark. I just spent maybe in a few days a total of about an hour of putting my mind intently on what I want to see happen. And it's been granted to me like very quickly, like within a week or so. I've got all the jobs. I quoted so many jobs this year, a few big ones, and now they're all starting to come in. Like we've been accepted. And so now we're trying to organize scheduling into next year because from this point on now we're doing, the boys are taking over at the end of the year. So I got to finish strong. But we're getting these big projects that's going to keep everybody busy for a while. And that's what I like. It's keeping everyone busy. Everyone's making money. Everybody's happy.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
definitely crazy. Ed, like as a it wasn't something I really thought of when when I thought, I'm gonna go into the family business. I'm gonna keep doing renovations and restoration work. It wasn't really something that I thought that, you really had to have the stomach for. Like it is such a, feast or famine type of thing. And that was one of the things I had to ask myself is like, is that something that you can stomach? Because when you have people relying on you,
Oh yeah.
it's like it's not only like a depression because I get that feeling, and again, like I've felt like very kind of acute moments of that here and there throughout this kind of like shoulder surgery because you know it sounds superficial, and but I'm sure you can actually relate to this and maybe understand this really well. But like, dude, when you are used to doing things all the time, like, training in a martial art or weightlifting or constantly kind of pushing yourself, and
Yeah,
then you feel this kind of like it's been stripped away, like it's like depressing. It really
it
is.
is.
And but with business, it's a different type of it's like almost like this, like it's something you like I said, you have to have the stomach for. Like it's such an
You do.
anxiety ridden kind of like fear of and it
Do you run your own business? Sorry to interrupt. Do you run your own business or do you work for someone else?
it's me and my dad. So
Cool.
it's kind of a similar.
Like me and my boys too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
the way.
so it's definitely like he just growing up, I never really saw it on him. I never really like there was definitely like I asked him a lot of times, and he just doesn't really have the vocabulary for it, I guess. But like I asked him one time, I was like, "Were you ever like depressed or anxious?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, well, is it like were there ever times where the business was getting slow and you were like nail biting and like stomach churning, scared about, like how am I going to pay payroll? How am I going to
No,
afford, all these things?" He'd go, "Yeah, there was definitely times like that, but." That's what this game is. That's what we're
yeah,
doing here. Like, if you didn't want that feeling, go work for someone else.
exactly. It's there.
It, it is just kind of the nature of the beast. There's a lot of pros. There's some things that you're just gonna have to be like specifically built for. And it's the same kind of thing. Like, I could never really be a fireman. I could never be a paramedic, a doctor, a nurse, a surgeon. I'm squeamish. I don't have the stomach for it. It's not something that I personally can handle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But this is something that it gives me an adrenaline rush almost,
Yeah, because you're
or
in
go to
control.
job. Exactly. Like,
You're in control.
and a lot of the time, if you're being honest with your quotes, you don't get a job. It's kind of just like, hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you swing and you miss.
That's why you got to do a lot of them, right?
Exactly.
You got to do many quotes. Yeah, no, I'm what you just described about when things get slow, and I'm in the process of retiring at the end of this year. I've been used to making certain kind of money. I can continue doing other things, but in this business, we've done pretty good for ourselves. We're not wealthy like people like to talk, but we've been taken care of quite well. I raised my kids with a good life and a happy life, and never we were never hungry or any of that. But yeah, it's up to us, man. I prefer to build my dream than build someone else's. You know, and when it comes to family, of course, then what we've done is we've built this business so when the boys do take over, they're well on their way. I mean, they're going above and beyond. My son Nico just got his red seal, so he's fully certified and can get some of those big government jobs and things. And they're already talking about incorporating first week. Because I've been sole proprietor for years, so they wanna go all in, and they're don't want to be painting anymore. They want to have their crews trained, doing the work. Those two are going to be out there doing sales, selling things, having different departments. Pressure washing and interior, exterior painting, commercial, industrial, residential.
Just
So they're set.
yeah.
But for me, what am I going to do? Well, I have this book I want to promote. I have another book in mind I plan to put together, but I'm not quite ready for that yet. I do have notes. And then there's, okay, what am I going to do in my retirement? Well, I don't believe in retiring, but I'm retiring from painting. You know, I'm going to figure something out, and that's a huge challenge for me. And I like it because it's the unknown. I've always functioned that way, and we've always figured it out. And you'll come across that bridge one day too. You'll go through that same thing. It's going to be strange, but we'll figure it out.
I feel like that, like, kinda every day, basically.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like how we talked earlier about, the type of people that are, subject to kind of that victimhood mentality. I am subject to this is such a weird world. I guess we'll just figure it out. Like, that's kind of like the way that I look at
Yeah.
literally, I almost have that exact thought every single day is like, man,
Well,
what the hell are we gonna do?
it's the way to go. And if you have a vision, you can get after it. You know what you got to do, right? But otherwise, yeah, you just go with the flow. It's the best way. Don't push the river. Go with it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even realize I was muted there. But yeah, exactly, dude. I 100% agree. A guy told me recently that a plane takes off into the wind, That's how,
Yeah.
right? So that's how, not with it, they go into it. So,
Right
dude,
on.
it's definitely crazy. So with like the books, like the book signings and the in-person sales, like what's kind of like your favorite thing about kind of doing that? Is it the meeting the
Is
people?
oh, it's meeting the people and talking. I love when somebody says, "What's your book about?" Well, there's a big poster here you can read. It tells you all about it. But I love communicating with. I can communicate for an hour before they actually buy the book. They've already decided they're going to buy it, but we're talking for an hour sometimes. That way I could miss potential sales, but I just it's when someone's got your attention and you're both connecting, that's pretty special, you know. I haven't met anybody negative about it, much yet. I even had a guy who
Imagine
said,
reading a book and then just like telling the author, "Yeah, I'll be honest, I hated it."
yeah, no kidding. Well, it happens. But I did a book signing in the first couple of months when my book was published in Mission, and it was a Mission Festival or something. But this dude was homeless, and he sat and talked to me. He liked the cover of the book, and he liked the title. The title really intrigued him, and he seemed really smart. It's one of those brilliant guys that just couldn't make it in life financially, so he lives on the streets, smart enough to figure it out. But anyways, he says, "I've never bought a book in my life." He says, "I read a lot. I love reading." But he says, "I never bought a book in my life till today." He says, "I'm going to buy your book today." I said, "Well," he says, "how much is your book?" I says, "Well, it's $25." He pulled out a 20. I said, "Look, that's good enough." So he bought my book. I signed it for him, and I'll probably see him again this year because he lives out in Michigan, right? So a guy who has never bought a book in his life bought my book. I was quite surprised. Frank and I were laughing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
But,
really cool.
no, I do. I need to get it out. I need to get it out more. I've got to get it recorded so it's on Audible. I want to have it translated in multiple languages. I want it available, everywhere
You have to
because
do you have to read it. You have to do the voice of it. I don't want to hear it in another
yes,
person's voice.
absolutely. I agree. Completely agree. It'll be my voice. And I want to have, I don't even know if this thing is working. I got it plugged in. So I don't know if you're hearing me through the computer, if you're hearing me through this Blue Yeti.
I couldn't tell you. I can hear you really well, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
Good. Yeah. I'm curious how the recording is going to be. So I probably don't even need this. But I like the microphones you have. They have
Yeah.
good sounding.
I'm really blessed to have these. I think they were given to me as a gift. One of them was. I think I bought the other one
Mm.
myself a while back, but
Right.
yeah, it's fun, man. But again, when you record every single week, it's kind of like I kind of was just like I kind of need this.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really even say that, but I actually used to use I think like the same kind of brand. I think it was like Igloo or Igloo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Igloo. Yeah.
I
It's
don't know
good
if
to
that's the
have,
same brand or not, but
it's worth having the better products, better uh, tools and things. My arrow keeps showing over there.
yeah,
I was going to, remember we talked about, I was going to start a new podcast of my own.
yeah,
I decided not to because I look around and there's so many. Who am I? Who's going to listen to me kind of thing. So for now, I put it off because I don't feel that, I need to sell a shit and load more books. You know, I need more of a bigger following in that case, but, and how I want to do it. I thought about it. So maybe sometime in the future, but for now, I think what I want to do is just be a guest on people's podcasts and go about that way because I have so many other things. I do too many things, you know.
yeah.
I have to function that way.
I was gonna say it's probably a wiser move at this point. I'm not sure actually where I honestly I'm not sure honestly anything right now, but it
Yeah.
I would never discourage somebody from doing it, but I will say I always tell people when they start doing it, maybe I should or shouldn't do this, but I always tell people like it is definitely a commitment. Like it's quite a
Yeah.
big commitment to
Yeah.
like learning a new skill set and like the time it takes, especially if you want to like edit clips and post them on social media. And, there's all these different things you don't really think about, but the same could be said about business, right? Like it's like,
Yeah.
you don't start a company, doing renovations and then like be like, oh, I can't wait to do the bookkeeping. I can't wait to do, the payroll. I can't wait to do like
Yeah.
all these different things, insurance plans and all these things. It's not like you go into business with the mindset of like, oh, I can't wait to do those things. It's just like a
No.
thing you have to do.
Yeah.
Kind of the same, but honestly, like it's funny because when you first said that, like there's so many podcasts out there. Who am I? The exact same thing could be said about writing books, but at the
True.
same time, it's literally just like a different sport almost. Like it's
Yeah.
like not that I would relate it to sports, but it's
Yeah.
just like a different maybe genre if it were music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a different skill set, a different, thing you have to go through. And yeah, honestly, I feel like, especially as an author, I think being a guest on other people's podcasts is kind of almost not more advantageous, but I guess it gets your message out to a
Yeah.
wider audience as opposed to
Yeah.
people that already follow you. Because with a book, it's kind of different where,
Hmm.
people, once they've bought it, they bought it. They might rebuy it as a gift for somebody else, but
Yeah.
kind of consistently looking for turnover, turnover, turnover. Like
Yeah.
we need to find new people. Whereas with a
Yeah.
podcast, you kind of just grow. Like organically it slowly grows after over time and time and time, but it's kind of like
Yeah.
returning people that you're looking for as opposed to like always
That's what's happening now is the book's growing organically. I'm noticing every month through the Amazon payments that, I looked at the last 3 months and I was surprised with each month. I said, oh, I didn't know that was going on. What happens a lot of times is people come to these book signings and, they're not prepared to buy it right away, but they do take your card. And if you get a chance to talk to them a little bit, what happens a lot of the times is if they don't buy it today, they got the card and they'll buy it later. So I get these surprise sales that come out of, doing those, which is kind of nice. But another reason why I didn't want to do my own podcast is I'm I'm working more these days as I get older to shed the ego more and more as much as I possibly can. Uh, Me speaking as my own podcast, I see myself as an inflated, idea, an inflated process because I don't want to be the guru. I don't want to be the teacher. I just want to share shit. And I could do that, but I'd have to really focus on the content. And I don't have time for that right now because I still have a lot of other work to do. And I've been experiencing some really cool stuff through my meditations that are pretty profound. The more I do it, I mean, I've been doing this for decades, 1976, but I do meditations now, different types of meditations. One will be that active imagination. Others will be just sit and just release, let go of everything and just sit. It takes about 5 or so minutes to go into a depth for me now to go deeper where no sounds exist. Everything is like in here now. And then you start having these pictures, images, mandalas, clear, vivid visions that just appear. And if you can hold on to that, that's the thing with creative visualization is if you can hold that picture long enough, the more you do it, it becomes brighter and brighter and more vivid. But it takes practice. It's a muscle of the imagination, not a physical thing. Of course, it's more of an intellectual. Not even. It's something deeper, higher. You know, everything that exists is right here between the eyes, and when you focus there, magic can happen. But over time, everything has to be exercised. And anyways, magic has been happening. Things have been, you know, I haven't been too worried in that 6 month period. I knew things were going to pick up. Luckily, I had enough to take care of us during that period. And now it's all coming together. So now I have to focus on some other things for meditation anyway. But lately, I've just been meditating to just chill and just let everything go.
That's awesome.
Getting to that mindset is so important.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And there the cool thing is there is so many different types of like kind of forms of meditation, whether it's more of like an active meditation, maybe going for a walk, just no headphones, no nothing. For me, a lot of the time it's like writing. I never would have thought that like I would scoff at you like if you had told me I would have written things, like back in the day, but I that was part of the thing about being like starting the podcast and just like having like a weekly schedule
Right.
was, eventually you're like, hey, what if I run out of ideas? And so it kind of forced me to just always be, and this is the thing that I feel like maybe you relate to a lot as well is like it becomes like for me journaling was constantly looking at my life and thinking about what lessons should I be learning, what
Yeah.
what way am I messing up, like is there a way to look at this from a positive way, like that consistently became the way that I was writing because I was constantly looking
Yeah.
a story to tell or a lesson to share, something I had learned. So that means I had to be learning the lesson, right? Like I had to actually be looking for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't see it and I wouldn't be able to speak about it. And so it constantly, like, maybe I'll get like, one a good idea a week, maybe like out of all of the different times that I sit down to write something down. But
Whatever.
then it's that's what makes like having someone else to talk to so much easier because this conversation, I don't have to think about something. I can just have a conversation. I don't have to
Yeah.
and something. But in my head, like there's times where like at work today, I was just like my headphones were dead. I was cleaning up after a job, so I'm like vacuuming. So like it's almost like you have nothing but your thoughts to hear
Yeah.
thought this thing and I'm like, "Whoa, I have to go write this down." Like I have to write this down because this is something I want to talk about. Like
Yeah.
that's just the way now when I'm alone with my thoughts, my brain is kind of just in this routine of constantly kind of thinking about, what lessons should I be learning right now in life? Like it's almost like a
Yeah.
preemptive and that's kind of useful for somebody like me. I've always said like I've always I've always said like I need to feel the pain to like actually learn the lesson, like it's tough. Oh, look at that chunky
This is
cat.
Buddha.
You've got a chunky cat too, man. I
Oh
got a
yeah.
chunky cat.
We got two in here and one outside. This guy's he's funny. He's just chills everywhere around the house, but he always follows me around. The other one follows Jacqueline around. Here, get out.
Oh, dude, we have that exact same situation in our house too.
Yeah, I saw that.
One of our cats like is I adopted her before Teddy and I started like got together.
All right.
So she like absolutely like I'm like her I adopted her at like 7 years old from the SPCA. So I think that she kind of has not that I have like a savior complex or anything, but it's kind of like she definitely like looks at me like, dude, you brought me out of the cage and brought
Yeah,
me a
that's
nice
right.
home.
That's right.
And then the other ones that we found in the woods, those are the ones where I wanted a short-haired cat really badly. Like I was thinking about getting a second cat. I wanted to get
Yeah, I wish they didn't shed. I
uh,
wish they didn't shed so much. This one sheds like crazy.
we
Believe.
found these cats and the short-haired cat likes Teddy better and the long-haired one, she follows me around everywhere. She's kind of like my other little mini me of Jessie. So it's kind of like it's so
She an
funny, man.
Angora? She an Angora?
I have no idea what that means, to be honest.
It's a breed of cats that have long fur.
Oh no, they're probably just like common tabbies, I think. Where's one of
Oh, okay.
here?
Yeah.
Here,
Yeah, I love the
look at this
cats.
angle.
Love
Yeah,
all animals.
they I
I
never
don't like
would have
dogs.
thought I'd be a cat guy, but
Yeah.
definitely having some of them, dude, it's so sick. Like in Richmond here, we get a lot of like silverfish. I don't know if you get
What
that.
is that? I've heard of that.
They're these little tiny like silver bugs. They kind of are I don't know, they kind of look like not beetles, they kind of look like skinny wood bugs.
Oh
They
yeah.
have
And they
little
fly?
antennas. No, they don't fly, but they crawl everywhere. They go on the ceilings, they go like on the
Oh wow.
floor, but my cats eat them.
Nice.
So we don't have to really deal with that. With spiders and like moths,
Snakes.
flies. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of them, like, she's kind of messing around right now on the floor here, but, one of them, I can just hold her up in one hand and she's so little and, she'll just like go and swat them and catch them and eat them right away. Like
Wow.
she's
That's
so
right.
feral, dude. It's hilarious.
Protein.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. There's like it's so funny too because we found them so young. Like you really kind of know that, like actually, so like when we first found them, they were like shitting like sticks and like dirt for like a couple days because they were starving when we found them.
Right.
So like you kind of like I just assumed like, oh, they just probably ate bugs and stuff. Like that's probably what they were eating was just like bugs and because they were like they couldn't even see yet, really. Like they when I brought them into the vet, they were like, yeah, no, they're barely able to see right now. Like they were only a couple of weeks old.
Tiny.
Yeah, they were, dude, they were tiny, man. Like the
Mm.
palm of your hand size, like tiny.
Yeah.
Like you could just hold two of them probably in one hand.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. But Yeah, they're such a
Yeah.
trip, dude. And honestly, I am still a dog guy through and through. I love dogs so much. I don't
Yeah, we've
have
had
right
them
now,
both all our lives.
but
Yeah, dogs.
cats are like having a roommate. It's not really like having a pet. It's kind of like a roommate that you have to feed. That's really it, and clean up.
Yeah, and they clean up after themselves. They hang out. We've had dogs and cats our whole life, but my last dog, I have 4 of them buried on my hill there. I just, I haven't been able to get another dog since our last. He was an American Blue, beautiful dog. Loved every animal. You know, cats could run over him, all over him. He was great with kids, but that one broke my heart. And wife and I decided we'd hold off. We want to travel more, but now we won't be traveling for a couple years, by the looks of things, huh?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
We have a Cabo trip planned, but this November, but that's about it. Gonna I'm gonna stay home, do local stuff and travel within our country a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's I feel like the way to do it, to be honest. Anyways, I've never been really like a huge traveler. I'm kind of a homebody, but there's
Yeah.
definitely something like a anytime I leave BC, it just doesn't hit the same. Like being in
Mm.
BC is just kind of like where I feel like is home.
Oh, it is.
Like I love the heat. I love the sun.
Yeah.
That's my other dream is to live in like a tropical place.
Mm.
But I feel like there's always going to be this kind of yearning for like kind of the BC surroundings, this kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something about this area that's just so attractive to me that it's,
Yeah, even when you go to the interior for, a long weekend and just experience that dusty, dry feeling, it's just not the same. As soon as you get back to the coast, you feel the humidity, but you got that all that beautiful green again. And, where we live out here, there's lots of oxygen with the lake and all the trees. I'm surrounded by beauty out here. One day you'll come out and visit, you'll see. We're
yeah.
building a huge deck in the backyard right now. It's a 42 by 10 foot presently being built. And then we're doing rentals, the whole front door area, walkways all being redone as well. Front front deck. So once all that's done, maybe late summer somewhere, you guys come for a visit.
Yeah, 100%. We definitely
You
will.
know,
We're yeah.
you like the water? You guys like the
Oh
lake?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
cool. Right on.
Yeah, we love everything. We're definitely outdoorsy people for sure, man.
Right.
There's nothing like it. I try and get like well, I'm outside every single day, but it's usually like where I live, it's by the river, so it's less
Oh,
about
nice.
lakes and it's
Yeah.
more the river, running by the river, running down by the farms here. That's kind of my where I get to run around every day. There's parks around
Mm.
here, but
Yeah.
really just being outside in this area, there's just something that just hits so hard, like it's
Mhm.
just so good. And
Yeah.
especially this time of year, I walked out, I stopped at Home Depot on my way home from the job site that I was at today, grabbed something, and I I got the lumber on my shoulder, and I walk out and the sun is still shining, or it was like 4:30ish or something. I can't remember when I
Yeah.
texted you. It was like around 4:35ish. I texted you and it was like the sun is still beautiful. Like this is like it looks like what you'd see in a movie.
Yeah.
And I know that it's just walking out of Home Depot, but there's something about it, when it's just sunny and beautiful and you're in a
Oh,
green
yeah.
shirt and there's just
Yeah.
something about it.
You get the low sunsets in Richmond, don't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sun sets the direction that the sun sets is over the cranberry farms for me. So it's
Oh, wow.
like a far horizon that you can just basically
That's amazing. I miss that.
yeah, it's
Out
flat
here,
to the ocean.
mine it goes down behind the mountain, and I don't get a chance to see that low sunset. But my skies are like fire orange and yellow and reds, and it's just beautiful how it lights up the sky. That's pretty nice. And then, Mount Shiam. where I live, sunsets at night when the sun hits that mountain as it's coming down, the whole mountain is glowing pink, like the snow looks pink. It's pretty nice. Really pretty to see.
Oh yeah, and
But
right
I
now,
grew up around the oceans and I like the ocean.
yeah, I definitely, for me, well, I guess it's still like a 25-minute drive, but
Yeah.
it is nice to be close there. It is still, yeah. I'm working at a place right now in Vancouver, and there's just cherry blossom trees lining the
Oh,
entire
I love that. Yeah.
and it's so nice. The only downfall I'll say, even though I still prefer this over snow, but it is kind of like snow. Dude, like I had to bring a separate pair of
Oh yeah.
shoes to this place because it was like
Yeah.
there's like my feet are just
Petals
all
all
over
over
the
the
ground.
ground.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
covered. It's like it gets everywhere. But today, dude, it was so sick. Dude, I opened the door to go to my truck to grab something, and
Mm.
there's this huge gust of wind that's just like blowing straight down the street. And I'm looking, and this lady is walking down the street, and she just puts her hands up because all of the pedals were like gusting towards her. Like it was like the most epic movie scene ever. Like I just opened my eyes and I was like, whoa, like this is
Incredible.
crazy. Yeah, if there was little moments where you're just like, I literally said out loud, like verbally, and I thought that maybe she like was like, yeah, what a weird guy. But I literally was like, wow. And she's
Yeah.
kind of looked at me and laughed. But I was just like, but I was like, literally, like, it was just like, you couldn't have, if you saw it in a movie, you'd be like, okay, that's so cheesy and corny. But like
Mm.
seeing it in real life, you're like, whoa.
New Westminster has a really nice park. It's Friendship Park. I don't know if you've ever been there, but
No, I
there's
haven't.
that park is the same thing. Trees all over the place around this time of year, blooming. The ground is full of the petals and the trees are full of color. I
Is it near
used to
Douglas College?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's
maybe I do.
behind Douglas College. I used to do my kung fu back there, in all around amongst all those flowers and stuff. And my brother and I lived in New West, so we were probably 2 blocks away from the park. So I spent a lot of time there back in the early 80s, 81, 82.
Wow.
But yeah, I love that. We don't get so much of that out here in the valley, but I have a magnolia tree that I planted after my sister died many years ago. So it blooms really nice twice a year. Love that.
Oh yeah,
But I'm
I
trying,
love those trees, man.
yeah, something else back here. This is the best place in Canada. Hey, the West Coast, South Coast,
Yeah,
best place in
absolutely.
Canada.
There's something that I've always thought like there's something romantic about, oh, maybe I'll just head a little bit into like maybe Alberta. It's way cheaper there. There's no provincial sales tax or something like that. And every time I just think to, dude, I don't want to deal with like anything colder than like -10. It's just
Yeah,
I
we thought the same.
yeah, like I just don't really have the stomach for it. Even like, dude, like this last like couple weeks has been a little bit colder, and I was like, I'm not really down for this. I don't like this.
Yeah.
But I'm literally looking at the forecast right now, and you know,
Saturday, Sunday, 30 degrees.
yeah, it's 25 for me here where I'm at, but yeah, I bet it is
We're
3:30 where you're.
we're heading to the lake this weekend with the boards.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah. It looks like Saturday, Sunday, Mondays could be gorgeous.
yeah,
That's wicked, man.
yeah. It's pretty cool.
That's wicked.
Um,
So
how
what's the
close are you to where you live? How long does it take you to drive to the core of Vancouver, say around Granville, Nelson area, Hamilton, downtown?
Oh, downtown? It would take
Yeah.
me, it depends. During traffic, like if you were to say like seven
Oh,
o'clock in the morning type of deal,
no, no, no. Let's say late afternoon into the evening, dinner, like dinner time kind of thing.
half hour, maybe 40. To find parking, maybe 50.
Right.
But I avoid
Yeah.
downtown Vancouver like the plague. I don't cross those bridges, dude. No, unless I'm like on point.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of work in the North Shore, which is like the
Right.
only time I'll ever consider it. Even then, I go
Right.
second Narrows.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we go down there at least 6, 8 times a year. We stay down on Hamilton and Nelson.
well, that's different because if you're staying there, you don't have to
Yeah,
worry about the finding parking and all
yeah.
the
We usually go for 2, 3 nights.
yeah,
Up there.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
dinner is
different.
yeah,
But I'm usually into Vancouver, like, in the mornings, about a half hour, depends on
yeah.
traffic, depending on where in Vancouver, but, like, right now, I'm working in, Kerrisdale, so it's
Okay.
about a half hour for me to get there in traffic in the morning.
I like Carrollsdale. It's a nice neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous, dude.
And yeah, in Greenpoint. I was in we were in Greenpoint a few weeks back, my wife and us. We noticed, we went the wrong way. This is Greenpoint. You know, we realized, fuck, been many years since I've been down there, but really nice. My sister once lived down there.
I've
But
man.
there's so many nice places out that way, Vancouver.
Yeah, I've always said, like, it's kind of like it's a perfect area to work because especially, again, in our business, like, it's the place where people own their own homes and have
Yeah.
need to help, like, renovate them, so
Yeah.
it is definitely a good place to be. The customers are good if, like, there's no,
Right.
real nickel and diming type of thing, like, it really is just, like, there's so many guys, people kinda know once they've shopped around, like, "Okay, this is what's a fair deal." So, if
Mm.
you're fair and then as well, you're just a friendly guy, then it's
Yeah.
probably gonna work out, like, it's just
Yeah.
the way that, like, good business should work, but again, it's the exact same as even transitioning from that to books for you, like, it's the exact
Mm.
same thing, right?
Yeah, true. That's right.
So, do you have like a set of, requirements for yourself before you start writing a second book? Like, is it more about, you want to get all the juice from the squeeze of the first one? Is it kind of, you're continuously kind of building this, I guess, catalog, and so the focus more is just like refining these ideas? Is it kind of a see all of
Well,
the above? Like, I would.
it first comes from an idea for me is I have an idea of something that has not been written enough about or articulated in a proper form. Like for for the topic that I want to write about, I don't want to say what it is just now, but for the topic I want to talk about, been in existence since the dawn of time. Um, Many faiths around the world believe in what I want to write about, but no one's putting it together in a way where you can search all the holy books and find what I'm talking about. All of them, except for the Islam book. It's the only book that does not, the Quran, does not talk about what I'm going to write about. Not, maybe it is, maybe it's hidden in there. I read the Quran many years ago. I can't remember much of it, you know, because I read many holy books and I love them, but there's hidden verses in these holy books that the followers are not paying attention to, only because they're being preached to and, explained in their interpretation what these verses mean. But when I put this book together and I can have you, for example, go to these different sources and find what I found, scripture will make sense to you again completely. Uh, right now, it puts everybody in wonder. They're unsure. Maybe he means it this way, maybe he means it that way. I've studied so many systems in 50 years, many systems that it's a full circle. And when you go through that whole gamut after decades of study, practice, research, you discover things. And most people don't have the time that I have put in or others like me have put in to come up with these mysteries. Basically, they're mysteries in these holy books that, like I said, followers aren't getting. They're just getting this surface explanation. Do this. This is what you do. This you do good. This will happen. You do bad. That will happen. Yeah, common sense. You attract what you put out. But what I want to write about next is it's not going to be a popular book by any means unless the right person gets a hold of it and says, at last, we finally have a book that really explains this topic in depth. And you can check all the sources because it exists in many books. It's like the book I put together. I tried to cover as much as I could about how the thinking process works, not in a deep scientific manner, but in a more a layman's way of understanding. Because the average person out there, I'm not an intellect. I'm wise because of my experience and what I've gone through in my life. I prefer to be that than be someone who's full of himself. And I know people like that, very intellectual. They read dictionaries. But I put the book together to answer many questions I had in my past because I'd have to read 25 books to write my book. So I put the information in one book in sources I got from many other books because everyone is saying only so much. They're not giving you the goods. They're not giving you everything. And I was the same way when I taught martial arts, is I would hold nothing back. Instructors used to keep things back because they didn't want their students to surpass them. Well, I'm the opposite. As I'm teaching you, I'm continuously learning. I don't care who beats who. My process is I'm learning this along with you because the more you teach, the more you learn as well. In fact, tremendous amount of learning comes from teaching. So you're always the student anyway, right? But
Yeah, I definitely think it's something that even just training guys at work when you
yeah,
have to explain why you're doing something, because like you have to really just like, because you're like, hey, do this. You kind of just feel like, at least I personally, like kind of
yeah,
feel like a dick, kind of just telling someone what to do. So I would usually just be like, hey, could you do this because we need to do this. But I'd have to think in my head, to try and get them to see the big picture. I'd have
yeah.
to see the big picture.
Uh,
I'd have to think, okay, why are we doing this? Why, like, what's the purpose of actually doing this? And of course, I know it because it kind of becomes second nature. But when you
yep.
have to actually think, why do we do this? Because I'm about to ask someone else to do this for money.
Yeah.
So, like, I gotta think. I should really just like kind of think about, why do we need to do this? Because then you need to, like it's something that, again, it wasn't something that I ever thought about doing when I got into construction. Was like, oh, you're gonna have to learn how to teach people things. It wasn't really something that I ever thought.
Yeah. Yeah. You master the basics and, it's just grows from there.
Did
There
you ever
is,
sorry, I
go
was
ahead.
gonna ask you, was there ever any moments or any times of reflection, maybe in meditation or journaling or anything like that, after you got the book published and everything, that you were like, "Man, I really wish I put this in there."
You know what? I can honestly tell you, no. I believe I even try and think of what else I could have added in that book. And I think, I spent 5 years, I've read it through editing 25 times, at least 25 times. So I spent many a time in thought, what else could be added to this? And that's where I eliminated 4 previous chapters from the first time I wrote this book. And I added 6 more new chapters because I discovered things in that 5-year period that I missed previously because I grew a little bit. I evolved a little bit. I tested things a little more, got better results. And so, oh my gosh, this is the reason why this happened. I was missing this before. Like the book, The Secret. Sorry, that's it's interesting how they put that together, including the movie, but they were missing an element, which people went along with what they were told from this book and this movie, and things didn't manifest. Things didn't happen. So to manifest something from nothing is impossible, right? You can you can attract things that already exist into your life. But if it doesn't exist, you know, it's tricky, the word manifestation. Don't care for it much, just like the word reincarnation is just overused and been,
I get you,
crushed.
man. I
Yeah.
I believe almost I can wrap my head around both concepts, but I just the
Mm.
words themselves kind of
Yeah.
I feel like abrasion towards them.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Exactly how I feel. So it's, so back to that future book and this particular one, to answer your question, I feel like I did everything I possibly could have in this book, and there's nothing I would have wanted to add, really. Originally when I wrote this book, I started with how I started my life being raised in Salem, Massachusetts, and some of the experiences I had there growing up. But I made a call near the end and said, this I don't want to write about me. I want to write about what I've learned. I want to write about how I can help another person. This book is helping people with addictions. It's helping people that are homeless because they're thinking differently now. They didn't know they could change their life just by the way they start thinking, the way they shift their thinking, especially when they wake up in the morning. That's where it all starts. You can go down that trench real quick in the morning, and it just continues on if you don't catch it. So I'd always wake up with a smile, no matter what, because I know what that does. I wake up with gratitude. I don't say it, I feel it. I'm there. I'm very appreciative of my life. I don't know how much time we have left. There are times when I wonder with my own health. But recently I went through, a bit of stuff this past year and had many tests done, and we're good now. I feel good. My lungs feel better. It's not my heart. So I figure, okay, maybe my thinking took me there. Maybe my thinking, because I had an infection in my lungs, my thought process was probably making it worse. That, oh, I'm worried. Oh, my mother, cancer, my dad as well. Heart disease on my father's side, cancer on my mother's side. So you start going down that rabbit hole, and that's no fun. And so that's why I think doctors are important, specialists. Get them tests done, just rule out everything. And everything I was worried about got ruled out. So I'm very happy of that.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of believe exactly what you said. Like, I think that not that it's the cause of everything, but it definitely doesn't help. Like, it definitely exacerbates the pain, the discomfort, the inflammation, like having
Oh, yeah.
stress. Anytime I'm feeling bad in my life, I'm always thinking, like, how can I relieve a little bit of stress? Even if it's just
Mm.
going for a jog or
Oh, yeah.
neighborhood, stretching for 5 minutes, like sitting
Yeah.
and just being quiet for, like, any way to relieve stress. Because, like, the way that I feel and think when I'm stressed out has led
Mhm.
me to almost every problem in my life. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's when coping
Totally.
mechanisms come in. That's when
Mhm.
all these different issues come by. So I'm just constantly thinking, like, how can I relieve stress as much as possible? Whether it's
Yeah.
like starting my day off without social media and reading a book in the first thing in the morning, like something that's
Mhm.
going to get my brain in a positive motion. And then I can start thinking about my own life and reflecting, a little bit of exercise, a little bit of this,
Yeah.
a little bit of that, but just constant, like little, like 2% decrease stress, 2%
Mhm.
decrease stress. You know what I mean? Just stack them up as many as I can.
Yeah. Hey, you see this?
I do. I love it.
I wear this religiously all winter through fall, spring. It's my favorite sweatshirt.
They're pretty comfy. I like
Yeah,
that a
I
lot.
mentioned, yeah, yeah, this is a real good one. I really appreciate that. Well, a nice key.
I gotta get some more. Once I got a few more in my closet here.
Yeah.
But I like a double XL. I like them really baggy, and I like to
Yeah.
just swim in my hoodies. And
Yeah, me too.
been out of double XLs for a while,
Right.
and I just kind of keep thinking like, man, I gotta re-up, and or maybe I'll do a new design. Maybe I'll do a black hoodie. There's always been that thought, but
Yeah.
we'll see, man. I really love it. I've got probably like three, no, four of them in my like my own personal closet,
Mm.
and I just kind of go through them, man. I've got a couple of different. I just keep them on the go, dude. I
Yeah, I've got a
wait
few of
for
them
me.
too. Some are starting to get a little bit tight, around here. I bet. Got to get back to the gym.
Yeah, man, I feel you on that. It's been so long since I've done any like resistance training or anything. I am
Right.
gonna be going to a friend of mine. He's a kinesiologist. He's been on the podcast before. Patrick Goo. He's a genius when it comes to
Yeah,
bending.
kinesiology is the best. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna help me not like ignore my physio, but just kind of find different ways, like things that I am able to do, things that are
Yeah.
going to benefit me, but also things that I can like find fitness entertaining again. Because to be frank,
Yeah.
for me, like I need a lot more stimulation than just stretching and doing a little bit of band work and running. It's
Yeah.
just not doing it for me, man.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's temporary, it's just so annoying and so difficult to cope with.
Yeah. Kinesiologists make the best personal trainers for physiotherapy.
Yeah, it's a good base,
I had a
man.
physiotherapist was a kinesiologist. He was the only physiotherapist that actually helped me. But then near the end he was making things worse, so I had to stop.
Well,
It's just the injury I had in my neck from that car accident was just pretty tough one, but got
yeah.
through that all right.
I mean, the benefit to my situation is it's not it's a surgery. So as
You're
long as I
wait,
don't mess it up, it should be, the recovery should be fine.
you have a day for surgery?
Oh, I had surgery already. I had
Oh, you already have, so you're in the
yeah.
healing mode now. Really?
Yeah, I'm like 7 weeks done. I think it was beginning of first week of March I had it. So I'm done with the sling and I'm just kind of doing stretches. And again, I'm gonna be doing some band work, but it's not very stimulating for me. Running has been the only thing kind of keeping me sane. I've literally just been running every day for the past few weeks because they were just like, dude, it's all I can do to really, push myself to really feel something. I just want to feel something again, like that's
Mhm.
how I feel with fitness, with
Yeah.
something to, challenge myself. I really do feel like physically inept. Like it feels like
Mhm.
very, like it's not my body. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, my body's changing, getting older, so I gotta get past that, get back to the gym and, just start slowly again. This elbow injury has kinda kept me away. I haven't been able to do any resistance training, but it's no excuse for me not to do some cardio. I couldn't go for a run right now. I'd have a heart attack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's when I first started, I tried running and I got like a half a block and I was throwing up because I was just smoking like a pack and a half of cigarettes a day. It's just yeah, it was tough, dude. But I've been cracking away at it for the past few years, pretty consistently. There's been
Yeah,
times where maybe I run like once a week, twice a week, but maybe even not for a week or whatever. Like make up excuses. I'll ride the bike,
yeah,
whatever. But
yeah.
I feel like
Some about running, huh? If you run
running.
long enough, you get this I used to run barefooted back in my karate days on the highways.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I used to crush things with my legs, my feet, my hands. But, yeah, I used to run a lot, but when that endorphin rush that you get once it kicks in when you're running, you feel that power and it's just and then you get running. I remember once I was running too fast and I got my head of my body here a bit, went flying. Luckily, I was on grass when it happened, but it went flying because my legs couldn't keep up with my body. I don't know how that worked, but yeah, my legs, I was trying to go faster and we can only run so fast,
I'm
but
just leaning forward. No, I get
yeah,
it, dude.
sprint
I
runners can do that, sprint
yeah,
runners.
I get what you mean. I got an overpass over by my place right now. It's maybe like a 10-15 minute jog from my place.
Oh yeah.
I can do sprints up and down the overpass, and it's just like, dude, there was something like, dude, like I get
Do you do it on
and
pave? Do you do it on pave or
yeah, I
concrete?
run on pavement.
Do you have access to a trail or grass?
Kind of run on the grass in the park, but no,
The reason why I say this is because back in my heavy karate days, we did a study on people, runners, marathon runners, and joggers on pavement and concrete, sidewalks, etc., and what this does to your ankles, your knees, your back over time. And these, it would show the impact of each joint from just running, jogging on pavement versus running on trails. Running sand would be really difficult, but would definitely be better for your joints and your legs. But yeah, so I used to always run on grass or trails unless I was doing a highway run barefooted. But yeah, so I used to watch people run on sidewalks, like jogging, and I'd look at that and go, "Wow, if only they knew what they're doing to their back, their knees, and their
that's
ankles,
me, man.
and your
Road
toes."
warrior. I have
Yeah,
heard that, but
yeah. There's a crunch, but over time, you're gonna feel it.
we'll see. We'll see. Maybe one day I'll tell you, hey, you know what?
I'm feeling
But
it.
no, I'm just joking. I do get pains in it, and that's one of the. You know what I've noticed is the more I do it, the less pain I get,
Mhm.
and it's
Or
just
David Goggins' story, huh?
yeah, oh, for sure. I've read his books, but I just mean like in the sense that like if I don't go for runs and then I go for a run, my
Yeah.
feet hurt, my ankles hurt, my knees hurt, my back hurts. I can't breathe well. My heart and chest, my lungs, everything just gets tight. It
Yeah.
feels so bad. But when I'm at like the point where I'm at right now, where I'm running every single day, like probably around like a 4K minimum, and
Good for
it
you.
gets it gets to a point where it's just kind of like it just feels normal. I've
Yeah.
realized
Yeah.
I was just saying to somebody today, I was talking to Teddy on the phone, and there's if I didn't exercise, I would feel fucking tired, you know? And I exercise every day. And guess what? I
Yeah.
feel tired. It's the same feeling. It's just that my body and my brain function better. That's really what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Well, training does improve your thinking. It's actually good for your mental health, really good for your mental health. Depressed people should get in the gym, get training, get running, get active. It helps with a lot of mental problems that we all come across.
And also it's like something that you just have to tailor for yourself. Like of course I'm
Yeah.
talking about, I love lifting weights, I love doing jujitsu, I love running, I love doing these things, but that's not for everybody. And also like everyone's at different levels, everyone's at different points in their lives. It really
Right.
is just about like just do something that if it can be outside, do it outside. And
Me.
do something that just kind of makes you feel accomplished, makes you feel proud, gets your blood flowing, challenges you a little bit. You kind of get the feeling of like, man, I don't really want to do this, but then you just go and do it anyways. Like that.
Yeah.
There's
See how good
something,
that is for your mental health?
yeah,
So good for you.
there's something, even though it sounds silly to say out loud, there is something behind just like you get home, you have a nice hot shower, and you're just like,
Mm.
man, I feel like if nothing else, at least that's probably the hardest thing I'll have to convince myself to do today, you know?
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Well, out of respect for your time, we could wrap things up unless there's anything that you wanted to chat about that we haven't gotten to yet or anything like that.
Yeah, I did want to mention this. Somewhere around Christmas time in December, I'm going for surgery on my hand. But I'd like to do a live one, you and I, and do a Christmas celebratory thing. I don't drink, but I'll have one that night.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't have to. I don't drink either.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Teddy and I don't drink either,
Oh,
actually.
good. Then we can have tea, coffee, and
100%.
Christmas hat, and yeah,
Yeah,
and get a few laughs and catch up on good things.
dude, it's only April. We could get a few podcasts in before then.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll be happy to. Yeah,
You have to
for
let me
sure.
know whenever. It's up until about July is going to be pretty hectic for me. I literally had to, like, behind me, you can see I've got like children's calendars I bought at
Yeah, I see that.
but they're Dragon Ball and Pokemon. They're kind of my favorite things. But I bought it at Walmart the other day just so I could have like three calendars. Cause these next like 3 months, I'm like, I feel like a chicken running around with my head cut off. And I had to like literally put three calendars on my wall and write everything out that I'm doing because I had to be able to visualize it. I was going insane every single day. I felt like my head was just spinning. And I was taking notes every single day, but then not reflecting on them. So I was just like endlessly writing the same things down. So I was like, I need to just put a calendar up, have like three calendars so I can see 3 months in a row and just like blast out a plan.
Yeah, you should get one of those big calendars. You can put just the paper itself that you put on a desk. That gets you
Yeah,
lots,
I thought
lots
about it, but it
lots
was
of
kind of the
room.
same price. It actually no,
Oh,
it was
was
a
it?
bit more expensive. These were like 10 or 15 bucks. I think those big calendars can run for quite a bit. Like they were,
Right.
I was
I
just, I literally driving home. I hit Walmart and just grabbed whatever I could find.
Yeah, we got a chalkboard in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Jot our notes, appointments, and
again, there's something about it sounds kind of cliche, and I would have scoffed at the thought of it, but there is just something about just writing something down and being able to see it that
yeah,
just makes it like, oh, okay, I feel like I can do this now.
yeah,
But
very cool.
yeah, man. Well, again, out of respect for your time and
Yeah,
I'm very appreciative of it. I'll let you go, and I got to go and have some dinner as well. It's kind of like different for me to record at night. It's not something I do very often. I've done it before, but every
yeah.
time it's a nice experience. So thank you for joining me today. And
Pleasure. Thank you.
no,
Yeah.
man, it's my pleasure. But one more time, is there another place people should be looking for your book? Is there just Amazon? Should they?
Yeah, right now it's on Amazon.ca, or my webpage, yourmindoryourlife.com. That will lead them to the book as well. And if you like the book, please leave a review on Amazon and be muchly appreciated. And yeah, for now, that's it. And then I'm going to try and get my son into his studio and try and start recording. It's quite a process, he's telling me. So it's, I need to put in the time and quiet time, no noise from kids or traffic or, you know.
I feel you.
So I hope to do that this year. But we're going to do a few festivals, and book signings and things. And that should be a good summer. It's going to be hot.
All right, man. Well, tag me on anything that you're posting about, like what you got
Okay.
going on, and
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
share it so I can try and get as many people aware of your book as possible. And
Yeah, I'm terrible with social. I got to get active. I kind of avoid it all the time. I just look and I just,
it's a scary world to be in, man. Social media is
well, there's so much
literally
fake. There's so much fake stuff.
it's disgusting, man. I
Yeah.
detest it so much, but it's
Well, at least our content is real. So I like what you're doing.
that's it, man. And I just
Say a lot
try
of good
and
things.
I
Yeah.
just try and share, a message that'll, try and make someone's life a little bit better, or at least just have them be like, I'm not crazy for feeling this way. I'm not gonna,
That's right.
I'm more normal than I thought.
Exactly. Not the only one.
Exactly. You're not alone. That's exactly it.
Okay, my friend.
All right. Well,
Take care.
thank you
Stay
very much.
hydrated.
Likewise.
Okay, we'll talk soon.
Say hi to the family and give them my love.
For sure.
Much love. Peace out. Have a good one.
Peace out. You
Bye.
too. Bye bye.